Hi guys, it's Nancy here and I'm back with a process video for you, and this one is a little bit different because this is a sort of collaboration, sort of challenge video. As you'll know from my recent tag video that went out, which I've just been amazed with by the response, and I've loved watching everyone's, and I've still got some to watch. I said I'd really love to do some collaborations, and I got talking with Crystal about how we had some papers that we really wanted to use but we really struggled with, and then Irit also started talking to us. So between the three of us we kind of set ourselves the challenge of getting some of this paper that we love, we brought because we liked it, but we haven't been able to use it. So the papers that I'm using, I brought the collection pack of the Flutter collection from Fancy Pants. It's a newish collection, and I just loved the saturated colours of it. It was so beautiful, but I don't know, I've been really apprehensive to use them. And this paper is such a lovely texture as well, and there's also gold foiling. I had all the die cuts. I did share it in a recent haul video, and I really loved it, but every time I went to use it I was just like, it's too intense, and I just couldn't get myself kind of in the mindset to use it. So part of our challenge was that we were going to take these papers and get to use it. I mean, Irit has put on that there's a hashtag that goes along with this, which is the Crazy Ass Paper Challenge. And so anyone who does want to get involved, you know, all you need to do is just dig out that not hideous paper, because this isn't hideous paper, the paper that you really struggled with to use, and actually make some layouts about it. So I've got about 3 layouts come out from this collection pack. I do have one that's currently sitting on my desk that I'm struggling with it. I normally am one of those people to just do a layout, get it done, and move on, but I'm not this layout's just not working for me, so you may or may not see a 4th video. So I know that I wanted to use this beautiful background paper. I love this background paper, but I needed to just knock it back a bit. So I've just taken, I couldn't find my gesso, so I'm actually just using some white texture paste, which is a bit of a waste, I know, but just use my palette knife to apply that around where I'm going to put the photo. And then I'm going to attack it with a whole lot of stencils and ink. You'll know that this is a technique that I use quite a lot if I've got busy papers, and that is to make them more busy. But I find in doing that it kind of knocks everything back a bit, and yeah, I don't know, I find it easier to kind of then start building on top of it, because I've kind of got rid of that kind of whoa in your face. So I've just taken that was a Stamping Up stencil, and I've just taken my paint dauber through that to just do some larger polka dots. And then I'm taking one of my favourite Tim Holtz stencils, which is these stars, and I'm using my neon pink ink from Hero Arts, and I am trying to use colours that's then going to make the different colours in that background really pop forward. And where I've got that texture paste on there, it's created kind of they've given them a little bit more depth and sort of shine to them. I absolutely love this stencil, and I haven't used it much. I normally kind of use it just for these kind of dots around the outside, but then it's kind of got this sort of it's kind of like a lined circle that's kind of filled in with lines, and then I kind of worked out that if I kind of just rotate it round slightly, I can kind of make a cross hatch effect. And I really love how that came out. So you're going to see me kind of building a few of those around, and I'm using navy ink here, the Night of Navy. It's a Stamping Up ink, and because these papers have a navy, it's a dark colour. It may read as black on here, but actually is navy. So I've just pulled out that and made some stencils around, and then I'm going to just spritz some ink. And so this is the Dilutions ink, and this is the bubblegum pink that I'm using. I'm then using the turquoise one as well, and again I just like this way of building up a texture. Of course you could do all these steps just on a plain piece of paper, and you know, it'd still kind of give you a cool background. So I'm just going to show you there how that's looking, and again with the texture paper it's taken that really well. So I also got the brag cards in this set, and so I'm going to try and use a couple of those as well. I'll have the die cuts, and so I'm now just going through, like you'll see me do in many videos. I will sit and go through the die cuts and everything and just pull bits out, whether they match colour wise or theme wise, and I'll pull them out and just stick them down. So these are two sort of outtake pictures of me and my boyfriend. We were just sort of sitting down having a laugh. We'd been out for a walk and we were just chilling and kind of making silly faces. And I love our silly faces. It just sums us up. My face in that bottom photo, I don't know, because I think because I've got a wig on as well, I look like some weird mushroom person. I don't know, it's it's not a flattering picture, but I'm okay with scrapping unflattering pictures. So I really love that hashtag living in the moment. I think it's really great. And then the other little one is the definition of the word splendiferous, which is just a brilliant word. So I'm going to be using some of these brag cards, as I said, for like title pieces, but I'm also going to be using some of them because you've got the plainer bits, so I'm going to be using those for layers as well. So I'm just going to be playing about here to what I can sort of do. I did really like these large kind of flower designs, and it's not going to complete too much with the background, to be honest. But I really like, I don't want to hide that like circle bit, but I end up hiding it anyway because I then pull another card in. But I really like that background and that stencil, so I'm going to be using that stencil again on a future layout. Maybe one that's not as busy, because this is incredibly busy and you kind of lose that a little bit. But I really enjoyed using that navy ink, actually. It's really nice. And I struggled to find a really nice navy ink, so if you do have somewhere you can get Stampin' Up from, I do recommend that navy ink. It's lovely. I'm not a huge fan of Stampin' Up inks in general. The older ones I've got fine, but I don't like the newer ones with like the foam ink pad surface. I prefer like the old cotton sort of ones, but it's fine. I don't know sort of any other, there is like other navy inks out there, but I haven't tried any of those, but I do like this Stampin' Up one. So what you're seeing me do here is just kind of play about and building up some layers. And said I'm using these flowers. I'm using one of those brag cards to make some little banner flags to just put in 3 parts. And I am very much sticking to kind of like 3 points of embellishment on this layout. And I really tried for this to just make sure I pulled everything from my collection pack and kind of didn't go out of that. I decided that I was hiding that a little bit too much, so I did just add another bit, another circle there, because I didn't want to hide so much. So I've just mounted the photo up on a piece of turquoise cardstock, and I have gutted that out, and I'm going to mount this whole layout in that, especially if it's a crazy busy paper. I like to just do something around the edge of it to mount it up, or put a black line or something around it, just to encase all of that craziness. And there's a lot of craziness in this, not only the photos. There's craziness. So yeah, I'm going to use that same paper as that photo mount, which is what I do time and time again. 9 times out of 10, if I got out a piece of paper, I'm mounting my photo with it as well. I really like these little flower designs. They don't go with the photos necessarily or the theme, but I kind of just thought I'm going to go with it because I just really liked what they added. That you and me die cut again is going to work, and I kind of thought I don't mind just having lots of words, not necessarily a specific title on here. I'm just really happy how that came out. And as I said, all these cardstock, the cardstocks in this Fancy Pants collection are lovely and textured. So all of the sort of texture on this layout, although the layout's quite flat, it's quite textured, which I really, really like. This banner you're going to see me try and use a number of times in these layouts, using this collection. I always love banners, but really, really struggle to use them. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can get a banner used somewhere on here. So I'm just kind of having little bits and pieces that I'm finding here. Decided to pop down that little bit of orange there, because I think that's just going to make the photo pop. And you can see just putting it there at the side at the bottom makes it look again like another little photo mount. But actually it's only just 2 skinny little bits of cardstock. So I just want to use a bit of 3D foam just to pop that you and me up, just to add that tiny little bit of dimension, as I said, which I really love. And then I'm just going to look here at some of the gold foil die cuts, and I'm not a huge fan of butterflies, but I wanted something just to add a little bit of a pop to it, and I kind of thought butterflies are a little bit fun, jovially, kind of splendiferous creatures maybe. So I'm just going to pop them in behind those flower elements, just to add a little bit of gold, and because I wanted that marvellous triangle of gold, so I'm just going to use a little arrow here. Again, that's just going to bring your eyes straight to those crazy photos. So that is it for this layout. I will leave the links below to Irit and Crystal's channels, so you can go over and see theirs. Again, we've all picked different papers, and I loved Irit and Crystal put their first layout up yesterday. We're not being really kind of like rigid with putting these up, but please do, you know, most of you will know their channels anyway, so do go and check them out. And I hope, you know, you've enjoyed kind of us working with these more challenging papers. I love the papers, like I said. They're just a little bit more challenging to use, but I never shy away from a crazy piece of paper. So I'm just mounting this up, and I will put some close-up photos at the end. So thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.